Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of We Are Legion Live. Today we have joining us Clint, Slate, and Iona James. Well,
Hello.
how's it going?
I'm fine, and you?
Doing good. How's everything over there in France?
Well, today was a very sunny day, so that's quite a good thing. It's not that usual, so quite good, quite good. It's a Sunday, so it's always good.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you got the sun today. We just had storms last night here, and so it's really cool here today. And
A storm.
yeah,
Uh,
pretty good thunderstorm actually. But yeah, it's unseasonably cool here today. It's like low 50s here today. Normally it's in the 70s, so you can unmute your mic, Iona.
I can. Okay. Now you can hear
There
me.
you go.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good.
And you're in Scotland, is that correct?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Okay.
It's raining here too. Yeah. Pretty
Um,
miserable one.
yeah. So why don't you guys get started and tell us about the new single that you guys are releasing?
Iona?
Oh, okay. Um, so our new single is called No Way Out. And basically it's a collaboration between obviously Clint and myself, where we were in a wheel of collaboration. And basically it's like a hat. You put your names in, and they just pick out some people, and it's off Twitter. So I don't know why I put my name in, but I did. And poor Clint got me, and I think he was a wee bit shocked. And yeah, I don't know if he knew what he'd let himself in for, but he got me. And yeah, so we had to write a song within a month and release it, and that's what we did. And since then, there's quite a few things that have happened, so it's quite exciting, really.
What's fun is that the first single that's out now, No Way Out, was the first song we wrote together for this wheel of fortune, fate, and and chance and collaboration. But the song came. The wheel was on Monday morning. We had the song by Monday night, so that was quite.
Really,
Yeah,
that's amazing.
that's just we clicked right away. I just sent Iona a few chord sequence I had, and she sent me the vocal track, and that was it. We had the song, it was just it clicked. So I just said, what do you think, could we try some other chords and some other melodies and stuff? And so we're on a roll since then. So it's just and it's purely luck, because it was just, Twitter luck, I guess.
So you two had never met each other
No,
at
and if
all.
you want to hear something funny,
Yeah, go ahead.
that's the first time we see each other.
Oh,
Properly.
this is the first time?
Hmm?
Yeah.
Really?
And
Wow.
yeah, and speak together.
And speak in real life, because we only speak through Twitter chat and mail and stuff. But that's the first time we really interacted with voice and stuff like that. So that's quite fun, and it all thanks to you.
Oh, well, glad I can help. You. uh,
Oh, no.
that's what I kind of like to do. Believe it or not, come through this, several artists have met and joined up and done collaborations through this show and through my work I've done on Twitter and things like that. And it really is amazing to me. And some of the things that some of the songs and stuff that have come out of it is uh, just exceptional. And I couldn't be more happy with that because my whole goal is just to make sure that people, like yourself, get their voice heard by as many people as possible. And whenever you can meet other artists and you do collaborations and stuff like that, and especially when those collaborations go on and they chart and win awards and things like that, it just gives me a great sense of pride to be able to do that. And I couldn't be more thrilled for the artists themselves. Uh, and just to be able to be a part of it is just simply amazing.
We're very glad to be here too, because it's our first interview and our first joint interview, and this is the first interview for this joint project. So it's all new, and new, and no way out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, with I don't know how they they have with your like travel restrictions and things like that with COVID and things like that. I know in the UK, Boris Johnson was completely against another complete lockdown, but I don't know how it is over in France. Is there a time when you guys are going to like try to meet up to work in person together when you're available to, or you just going to keep it going online? How's that going to work out?
I don't know.
No, go on. No, okay, I go on. Actually, me personally, I don't make plans because life taught me that every time I make plan, I will end up with something else. So I just
I'm
go
right
with the
there with
flow.
you. Yeah, I'm right there
And
with you.
a year ago, I started work on an album that was not. I didn't plan to do it, but I needed to find something to do with my time because I was in lockdown. I'm a professional musician, so all my shows and all my work was shut down for I don't know how many times. I still haven't got back to play actually. So I did this, and then after that, I met Iona online, and I did another EP that I didn't expect to do, and it's just if we can, yeah, sure. If we can't, we'll find something else, and I'm very happy with what we do now because it's totally unexpected, and it's totally unexpected for us too. So we never know what song will come with, and we didn't know we would go with you know uh, that an EP would come out, and we have in fact more than you know we have something like a dozen songs. So it's just amazing. It's just an amazing road to travel right now. And actually, well, to me, to know that I may not be able to do that live is quite liberating too, because we can do any arrangement we want. We can do any music we want because we won't have to think, oh, maybe simplify this part because when we are playing it's in well no. So it's just okay, let's go with this and try the full orchestra and 28 guitars and two drums and keep it simple. It's just I don't know.
And
I think,
good.
well, a year ago, I hadn't done any of this. It's all new to me. I'm a nurse. Um, writing songs. I've, I've done it, but never released anything. And so for me, this is all new, all out of my comfort zone, and I'm quite happy hiding with my muted microphone. Probably my camera off actually, but yeah, I'm much happier doing CPR or something else on a poor patient. But I'm enjoying this. It's good. We're having fun, and it's something I would never thought I would done. And I don't think if coronavirus had come, we would have ever done this. So it's it's pretty good actually. Yeah. Um, I'm glad I entered the wheel. At the day it happened, I don't know that I was. I wondered what I'd done because I'd got a wee direct message from Clint saying, "Hi, this is me, and this is what I do." And I'm like, "Oh well, I'm me, and I'm a nurse. I don't know what I do." So it was I was a bit daunted, but I think we're working well together. I think, yeah, we've made some good songs, and I think we'll see how it goes. I think it's good.
And if this arrangement works, I mean, I'm one that is always a big proponent of if it's not broke, don't fix it. If it works for you, just keep going with it the way it's going. And you mentioned it yourself. If there is one silver lining to the whole coronavirus pandemic, is it opened up a whole different way for people to collaborate and make music
Yeah.
that they would have never probably done without the coronavirus. And it's opened up so many avenues of possibilities, especially for the indie artists, because no one was playing shows or anything, everybody was online performing. It actually put the indie artists on the same level as the mega superstars. You were all doing music the exact same way, and so it kind of benefited uh, the indie artist. And not to say that I'm happy that the coronavirus came or anything like that, but that is the one silver lining that I could find from this whole ordeal is it opened up a whole another level of possibilities, and it leveled the playing field for everybody, which was very great to see. And it's brought so much more great music to the forefront than probably would have been had it not have come.
Yeah, totally.
Uh, and so, when did you guys said you met on that Wheel of Fortune contest? How long ago was that? Whenever you
February.
met,
February.
February of last year,
No, now. I
of
mean,
this year, and you
yeah,
already have 12 songs.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
That is just that's just amazing. I'm kind of just blown back by that. That is just completely incredible chemistry from some people that have never met each other in person, and you really just met online in February, and now it's just barely into May, and you have 12 songs already together.
And what's amazing is that we have the the real deal with the EP. I mean, we how to put that? Um, it started with just a few chords and a vocal melody, and then a few months later, you got something with a visual, with videos, with trailers, with a bio, press kits, something to sell, and it's very quick. And at the same time, it sounds right to do it now, because we see it as a first step, and actually the EP is called The Silent Sea, Chapter 1, because we want to make more chapters, which is just um, dipping toes and see how it goes, how people get it or not, and how we feel about it, and it's all about stepping back from the coronavirus. But actually, to me, it was a very special time because I needed to step back and I had no choice but stepping back. But at the same time, the fact that I could write music and I could share music with Iona, for instance, was a real goal. I had to, do something, because in these weird times, it's all I wanted, something to do and something to feel, in a way. So it's been luck.
I would say it's been a distraction for me. I think um, it's been pretty tricky at work, and often I would wake up at night and worry, and songwriting has taken me away from that. It's distracted me, and um, when I put out my songs, people acknowledge that, and actually, I think they feel that they help them as well. So I'm hoping that some of these will do the same. Um, and I think the first two actually that we have, they came from my worry about coronavirus, about trying to my self doubt and worry, and the negative press about coronavirus and the fake news, and that started the lyrics for the first two songs on the album. And it's funny because I'd actually sent them, and they were quite negative songs when I sent them to Clint. And it's funny because we both have very different outlooks. I am a cup half empty. Everything is half empty. And he is quite the opposite, quite positive. And if I'll get a negative a review, and there'll be one line which is not quite, and I don't like it. That's it. It's the whole thing's negative. Whereas he'll go, "Oh, that was good," and I'm going, "Well, no, look at that bit there." And so actually, he took those songs, and when they came back to me, they came back quite positive, and it was nice actually. Lifting, because I think sometimes mine are a bit down, a bit sad. So the contrast of us two together, working together, I think it works well. I think it works really well.
Yeah, Clint does radiate positivity. Even people over in the chat say, "Wow, he's a really positive guy." And I'm more like you, Iona. I'm more of a glass half empty person, but just the way things are, and sometimes that's the best mix, is whenever you get completely opposite ends of the spectrum mixing together, and you bring ideas together, and being able to share it and to agree on putting it together like that is
sometimes we don't agree.
Well, that will come with the contradicting viewpoints. Would you like to play one of the songs, or have me play one of the songs? Are they on Spotify?
On Spotify, not yet.
Not yet. Where are they at? Where can I look one up?
You can find the first single on Bandcamp right now.
Bandcamp?
It's not out. The EP and the single will be out a bit later.
Oh, okay. So we probably ought to not play those because we want people to go out and pre-save those if they are. Do you have a pre-save available?
Yep.
Okay. Well, why don't you guys tell us where they can pre-save those? And
so I have to find the links back. We're on DistroKids, and we have the pre-save from DistroKids, and I have to find this. Hold the line, please, and we will connect you. Iona, entertain the audience for a moment, please.
No.
Do something. Do something.
You know, when it's your first time, I was completely like that the first time I did one of these shows too, and it gets easier the more you do that. It's completely different when you actually have your face out there in front of somebody, and when you're not used to doing something like that. And I'll tell you, the audience is completely happy that you decided to show your face, because they'd rather probably look at you than me. Anyways.
Okay, so I found it.
Yeah, you're quite lucky.
So you can find all the links on the pinned tweet of my profile and on Iona's profile too. So it's just on Twitter, and look for Clint Slate or Iona James, and you'll find all of this in the pinned tweet, along with a trailer of visuals, samplers, and you name it. Because our goal is to take over the world, you know.
Absolutely. Isn't that everybody's goal?
Yeah, totally.
I am completely down for that, you know. And
that's the problem, is that it's a groove that numerous people want to do that. So, you know, it's a full-time job. So it's Sunday. I want to keep the world on Sunday. She wants the world on Monday. You know, we're fighting. And the jet lag now, you know. So is it Sunday? Is it Monday? Where are you?
Yes. Here. I know you guys got an hour time difference between one of you two. You start on Sunday, finish it on Monday. There you go.
It can work, but I want to keep the summer because, you know, it's
absolutely.
I can try.
So in your pinned tweet, is that teaser?
Yep.
The first one. All right. Let me see. Let me pull that up, and we'll play a little snippet of that for everybody.
like you can't seem to find my way out.
So that's very short.
You know what? And you know what? It's still it's a great teaser for the song. I mean, I encourage everybody that's viewing this right now and everybody that will view this to go out and pre-save all this for them. These pre-saves are important for artists. Most of the people that are watching are in the music industry in some way, shape, or form, so they know those pre-saves are always big. Helps you get those playlist placements and things like that, which helps drive sales and streams of your music. So tell us, go back and a little bit about yourself in music. Clint, we'll start with you, and then we'll move over to Iona. Ona, how long? What got you into music originally?
I found my dad's old guitar when I was a teenager, and I wanted to play drums. In very short. My parents didn't want me to play drums, obviously, and that was a real shame. So they got me this little Octopad electronic drums, and I started to learn to play instruments that I taught myself. So I do play drums, keyboards, bass, guitar, uh, pretty much everything I can find, but I'm not literate about it. It's just I hear things, not just voices. I hear notes and melodies, and
Oh, I completely understand.
and so I just try things, and it's been, I don't know, years now, but I did this when I started it when I was 14, I think, and I'm nearly 44 now, so it's been 30 years that I record things and try. It's just a matter of passion, because I I discovered music when I was a kid through radio, and in France there were lots of things, but my earliest memories would be The Police with Roxanne. I remember it. I don't really know why, but it stuck. And then when I was a bit older, I everything switched when I discovered Freddie Mercury and Queen, just after he died, and that was the event that changed my life, because I heard The Show Must Go On, and the guy on the radio saying Freddie Mercury just died, and teenager me, speaking a bit of English, thought, isn't that strange that the guy just died singing The Show Must Go On? And it's struck a chord, and I heard his passion. I heard his voice. I heard something in the song that still moves me to this day, and I wanted to find what that was. I wanted to go on that road, and so I started to play, to invent, to chase the thrill, and I'm still chasing the thrill. I've written hundreds of songs, and I've made I don't know how many shows and stuff, and it's still not. I'm still not fulfilled. I will never be fulfilled. I want to. I want to learn. I want to thrive. So I do. I still do. And so we did 12 songs now, but I found something like 40 licks and riffs, and I'm still working on other stuff on the other side. I need this. I'm a maniac. She can tell you that I'm a maniac, and but I'm quite interesting as a maniac too. It's
There's nothing wrong with being a maniac, and I prefer those type of people. They're the most fun. But you
totally
mentioned
agree.
you mentioned Freddie Mercury and the passion and stuff that you could hear in his voice. I'm a huge Queen fan and a huge Freddie Mercury. To me, Freddie Mercury is probably one of the greatest singers that has ever graced this earth. He just had a way about him that when he walked on stage, he started singing, he commanded your presence, and he just can make the audience just eat out of the palm of his hand the whole time he was on stage. And I've never seen anybody do it any better than Freddie Mercury. And unfortunately, we lost him way too early. And but he was just a complete genius musically, and I couldn't think of anyone better to be a role model to aspire to try to emulate than someone like Freddie Mercury. Uh, so, Iona, you said that you're a nurse during your day job. I also have a day job as well, and I do this on the side, but I never. I don't come from a musical family, and I never learned to play instruments. I'm actually trying to self teach myself some instruments now, like guitar, uh, bagpipes, which people think I'm crazy here in the States for wanting to play the bag. But I love the bagpipes. I have an extensive background in law enforcement, uh, and in the military, and during the funerals for those, of course, they play the bagpipes, and I go to. We have an Irish festival here every year, and I go to that, and I just love. I have some Irish heritage in my blood, and I just love the bagpipes, and even though everybody else thinks they're weird, I really enjoy them. So, and also I want to learn how to play the blues harmonica, and those are normally not three instruments you see running together and things, but those are the ones that really drive me. So, but back to you. What got you started in music? I don't know.
When I was a little girl, I would sit with my mum in the kitchen and we would sing, and she would play her records. And it was that connection with her and playing her records. And I still remember all the words to all those songs that we played. And as I grew up, I tried to play guitar, I tried to play piano, I would sing, but then that got lost along the way. I think I would still have that, but I've never been very good at it. But that got lost, and then it's only just recently that I've started back with my music. Um, so yeah, I think I owe it to my mum. I remember singing while she was doing the dishes and singing with her.
And you know, sometimes life gets in the way of
Yep.
things like that, where priorities change and stuff, and sometimes stuff gets shifted to the back burner, but then the passion is still inside you, and it's a fire you can't extinguish, and it'll eventually come back like it did with you. Um, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's completely understandable to have to shift gears and go and do a different thing, and then eventually work it back into that. What were some of your earliest influences in music, artist
Yeah,
wise?
yeah. I mean, I remember with my mum, it was the Bee Gees and Cyndi Lauper, just the records that she had. I think when I went then to school, it was Enya and Clannad, Cranberries, Nirvana. It was mainly related to boys. I think whatever they liked, I think I quite liked. But then um, it's funny because now people are then telling me that the songs that I'm making are sounding like that when I actually never even put the two together. But I don't mind. I don't mind
See,
that.
that was actually kind of a setup question, because when I heard that little snippet of you singing, it took me back, because when I was growing up, it was the Cyndi Laupers and the things like that, and I hear that kind of style in your voice, kind of like a Debbie Gibson, that era. I can feel that it takes me straight back to that time period, and it has that nostalgia to it, and it's really good, and as much as I like I like the way the music's going, because as more than any time in history, music is just becoming music now. I mean, you're getting cross genres of everything now, and people are just bringing it together and just making music the way that music should be made. But still, that's what I was listening to growing up. I mean, the you said it, the Bee Gees, Queen. My parents had completely different. My dad was listening to ABBA and the Coasters and things like that, and my mom strictly was as a country person, so I was listening to the country. And I have brothers who are 7 and 9 years older than me, so I was listening to more mainstream rock and roll and pop music at the time. So I have a very wide swath of what I listen to, and I I'm I'm just a fan of music. I just love music.
I think
Doesn't
that's
really
the same.
matter.
I
It's
don't really pick genres. It just is.
uh,
I like
I
a lot of different types.
I mean I'm the guy that can be walking down the street with a group of friends, and I'll hear something, and if I like it, I'm stopping and I'm listening because that's just the way it is. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be reggae, it could be hip hop, it could be uh, 80s music, it could be doo wop, it could be country music, blues, jazz, what have you. If it sounds good to me, I listen. And I know that comes off as very strange to some people here, because back when back in the 80s and 90s when I was growing up, genres were pretty well set. You know, you didn't cross genres very often. I mean, you got a few with like Aerosmith and Run DMC when they did Walk This Way and things like that, but they were a rarity instead of the norm. So, but basically, if you're a rock singer, you did rock music. If you're a country, you did country, and so on and so forth. And most of my friends pretty much stayed within their genre of music, but I could move from one group to another and still be perfect, fit in perfectly well, because I listened to all of it across the board. There was, and to me, it just doesn't. It doesn't make sense to me to limit yourself to just listen to one particular brand, because you're missing a whole world of stuff out there. And whenever I listen to somebody, especially just that little part of that song, when you can take me and you can take me back to a particular time in my life, uh, just by I think you hit the nail right on the head with that one. And I'm very interested to not only listen to that, but well, all the other stuff that you guys have collaborated with on there. uh, it's uh, and the way that you guys came together just by chance, and then clicking, and then just turning out music is just astounding to me, because there's people that work together for years and they don't come up with 12 songs,
Yeah.
and you've done it in a matter of months. So I'm very interested in that. So you say you come up with the riffs, Clint, and you obviously provide the vocals. Do you do any vocals at all, Clint?
Yeah.
You
But
do?
actually, when we started collaborating, I, I've been in many bands, but I didn't really did collaborative songwriting with them. So it was a first, and I wanted to do it right. So we talked about it at first and decided that we would um, really write together. So each song is really written by both of us, uh, melody wise, chords wise, lyric wise, everything. So it's very interesting because we also decided that each song would have both of us singing, but not your usual one verse you, one verse me, and stuff like that. So every song is different. On one song, I will have a verse, she will have the chorus. On another one, I will have something like spoken word rap, and she will have the same I don't know, high voices melody on top of it. On another one, we'll have one sentence each, and each time the story t- will be different. And the the only principle that we have is that it's something that only us two can do. I mean, it's not something that I could write on my own. It's a song I write with Iona. It's different. It won't sound like me. It won't sound like her. It will sound like something we wrote together.
So yeah, so it's a true collaboration.
Mm.
This song was specific. These songs were specifically written for you two to sing. It's not like
Yeah.
you had like a writers round and people are writing songs specifically for Clint or specifically for Iona. You guys are writing these songs for Clint and Iona,
Yeah.
and
And we try to
They would
keep them
never even.
really. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, no. They, they just wouldn't ever have been because I would. Clint sends me a riff or a melody, and then I add some vocals, send it back. He then changes it up, adds some different vocals, and sends it back, and it's backwards and forwards. So at first I was like, "Oh, hang on, this is my song. Is this my song?" And the way it evolved, they would never be without both of us together. I wouldn't necessarily have done the things that Clint would have done, and he wouldn't have done what I do. So, yeah, I think it works well
and
together.
and you mentioned this earlier that you have the contrasting personalities, and sometimes that they say opposites attract. So bringing that two different ideas together, because you with the more pessimistic personality, Iona, you probably wouldn't drift into the positive part, and Clint with the very positive and upbeat personality that he has probably wouldn't drift in there. And sometimes it's a yin and a yang. Uh, your light needs the darkness, and her darkness needs the light, and it brings those balance in together, and it actually forms magic whenever that comes together like that.
What's interesting is that we're total opposites on nearly everything. Um, Apart from the obvious part that she's a woman and I'm a man, and not the other way around,
Mm.
dear viewer. We are not from the same country. We do not really have the same um, vision on music or even on on the words, because that's not my first language. So I can think about it differently. We don't write the same things. She tends to write some things that are more real or grounded, and I will try to be more surreal because I want to my lyrics will have stories, but I won't tell you the how to get there. You'll have to do the work on yourself, because I grew
I
up
never
with
knew
Queen and
I
stuff like
tell you
that.
it all.
No, I didn't say that, but um, I mean, my stories will be more metaphorical and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and so all of this are is just a giant struggle and fights and a melee, because we now I think we got that we can build a story together and try something else if we find this middle ground. The snippet you heard, No Way Out, was the real good start for this, because it was just a chord sequence that I had found this very morning and that I sent Iona without any idea what to do with it. No rhythm, no lyrics, no vocal melodies, and I thought that's the best part, because she will sing what she wants. She will cut and paste how she wants. And when she sent me back the vocals, I heard something else actually. And so it's been there. It's been like this for months, because I don't want to send her a complete song. full
Yeah.
with lyrics and vocal melody, because it's not a collaboration anymore. It would be a cover, or just, okay, do some backing vocals for me and stuff like that, and she won't
Mm.
do the same with me, because it's not a collaboration anymore. It would be something else. But right now it's just, it's we have something like a gold mine. We're just
You
um
absolutely do. And I think it works because of the complete contrasting personalities. I mean, and when you send a snippet, because your minds don't work in the same way. So whenever you send her something and she hears it and she adds her piece to it and sends it back to you, that forces you to open up a part of your mind that you normally wouldn't be using, and vice versa. And it creates, like I said, it creates completely amazing music whenever you do things like that, because it causes you to grow as an artist yourselves. And um, and it also adds to a different way of thinking, because it does wake up a part of you that you may not even known that was even there. And sometimes that's where the best inspiration comes from. Is when someone absolutely says something or does something, and it wakes up a part of you that you didn't even know you had.
totally. But
Yeah.
I'm surprised every time she sends me a vocal back, because I I can't really expect anything. And you have to notice that we don't have the same range vocally.
Oh no,
So
you're a more deeper. You're a more deeper, like
yeah.
my voice is, and she's obviously much higher range. And if I ever even attempted to get to where she is, my my voice box would probably explode, and it would just come out as a squeak or something like that. So, uh, uh,
But actually, that's the richness of it all, because I wouldn't even dream of choosing these vocal lines, because I don't have this range. It wouldn't be natural for me to try and do this. Same thing for her with mine. So we have a full spectrum, a wider spectrum, that what we would come up with on our own. So and I wouldn't do this. I mean, all these melodies, I don't think I would have worked on them, because I wouldn't have found ideas really. So it's very cool and exciting to have a brand new material to work with.
I think it's funny because we had about 40 different melodies, and Clint never knows what he's getting. So sometimes he can get one where he sent me 3 months ago, and then the next time I send something, it's what he sent me yesterday. It just depends. Sometimes I'll just hear it, and I'll hear a wee little hook. I'll have something, and then just work on that. And it's quite funny because he's like, "Oh, I didn't quite hear that like that," and I've cut and pasted and I've moved things around the other way. And he's like, "Well, that was the bridge. Now you've made that the chorus." And sometimes it annoys him, and sometimes it annoys me. Um, but I think it works quite well actually.
well, you never know when inspiration's gonna strike. And I mean, if someone sent me like part of a song, and I would listen to it, and I would mull it over for a little bit, and if I wasn't coming up with anything, I would move on to a different one or something. And I could just imagine with you being a nurse or something, you're probably sitting there at work, and all of a sudden one of those melodies go through your head, and all of a sudden something clicks, and you're like, that's we got to get that going. Uh, I'm going to send that to Clint, and because your mind sounds like it works a lot like mine does. So
Well, I'll be listening at work because a lot of patients, it's a lot of work now because I'm a GP practice nurse. So I don't know if you know. So I'm not I'm in a room on my own a lot and making phone calls and working out blood results and different things like that. So my job has changed slightly. So sometimes I'm sitting a lot on my own. So I'll be playing all these music and humming and singing. And I had a bang on the wall from my practice manager. Are you singing in there? And I was like, yes, I'll keep it down. But yeah, so it just comes, and sometimes it's quick, very quick, like the one he first sent me. That was very quick. And other days, I would say most of the ones he sent, I have something, but not quite there. It just, you have a little hook that you record,
Yeah.
and then you'll get some words. But obviously, that many songs, it's quite hard to come up with lyrics. So I have my whole family on lyric lookout, and so on the news. Oh, there was this on the news, so I was writing that. Trump says this. It's that kind of thing, and just picking things up. And some of the songs that we do, that'll be just something that came from the news, or what I'm thinking that day. If someone's annoyed me, I came home from work and wrote a song because someone slightly annoyed me, and so that then it's just little things. So it's good. It's good.
Yeah, and that goes back to my point. You just never know where inspiration will come from. I mean, it could come from someone just who was a complete snot to you, and was you're like,
I can't say the name though, but yeah.
yeah, yeah, and or you could have been sitting there just eating your lunch, and you just see something uh, that you normally didn't see, and just boom, you get your inspiration. And so
It
uh,
reminded me that he sent me kind of, I don't know what you'd say, it was kind of rappy, and I was really trying, and I kept playing it, and different words came out, and out came, how many times do I have to say it? How many times do I have to say it? And it's from my children, because I'm like, how many times do I have to say it? And I was like, I don't think you
oh,
can.
I know exactly how you feel on that one. By the way, happy Mother's Day. Um, and yeah, I have a 3-year-old boy and a 6-year-old boy, so I know exactly about repeating. Apparently, they can. The doctors told me their hearing is fine, but obviously they can hear everything except for the octave of my voice.
Sweet packets, they can hear that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They can hear anything. Sweets opening from 6 blocks away, but they can't hear me 2 inches in front of their face. So I know exactly how that goes. uh, but yeah, people take inspiration from different things, and I imagine when you send back to Clint, and he's looking at it, and uh, it could potentially take what he had in his mind and completely change the direction of where he was originally going to take the song.
Actually, it's more the opposite.
Oh,
I don't expect anything, and it's
okay.
more liberating. It's just I find a melody and I send it right away, so I don't have
Okay.
time to overthink it. But she has time to overthink it, so she works on it and finds a melody. So she really turns it into a song. But when I receive this song, I then go, ooh, oh yeah, oh, we should turn this jazz chord into some hip hop shit. And
Yeah.
so when I send it back, she's, what? What happened to my song?
What has he done to my song?
What is this? I don't want this. I don't want this drum and bass singamages. What's that? It was a ballad. Yes, but it's fun with this. Okay, well, so here is the real struggle, because she will have.
Kind to my song.
But I'm kind to your songs, and it's not your songs; it's our songs. So it's just we have two visions that are really opposite. So I will be really experimental, and she will be really soft about the song. She will be soft-hearted about it, and so it will be try to find this middle ground where it's really interesting, because it will have heart and it will have identity in a way. So we're just we have one. We're working on one for something like 10 days, and it started as a song, as a really nice song, and then I went full raga, I don't know what on it, and full trip hop thing. And so she's No, no, that won't do. But I want it to work. So it's.
Right.
But
Oh,
we'll find a way. We'll find the middle ground. But that's really interesting because my part on its own is rubbish. It works because I got inspired by her part, and it's all about this. It's about finding something that we were talking about genres earlier. I couldn't find the real genre that we're in. To be honest, I don't know because from song to song we're just picking something from every sweet in the candy shop. So I don't know. We have 4 tracks on the first EP, and the 4 tracks are really different. I mean, there's one that is, in to my mind, something like Coldplay, very an anthem, very very rock and stuff, and then we have one that is more country with a lot of acoustic guitars and harmonies and stuff, and then another one that is, I don't know what it is, something like maybe Radiohead and garbage at the same time. So, and I don't really give a rat's ass about genres. I like music. I like that. So we write music. We write something that hopefully touches us both at first, and then at some point will have an effect on somebody else. And if we have to fight for it, and fight to have a raga metal jazz uh, thing, then it's okay.
and you know what? I don't think it's fair to. I mean, when artists do that and they limit themselves to a genre, you guys are musicians.
Hmm?
You create music. That's it. There shouldn't be any genre. You just create music. You create what's inside you. You take something inside you, inside of both of you. You put it together, and you deliver it to the world. And it it isn't the way you do it, and you do true collaborations. So whenever people are hearing your songs, they're hearing a piece of both of you instead of, say, this song, it was all written by Clint, but Iona's singing it. So Iona's singing your message, but to, together you guys are putting together your message and delivering it to the audience, and which makes it absolutely astounding. And I am greatly looking forward to when is the release of the EP coming?
So we have the single on June 24.
21st.
No, the single is May 24.
May
Um,
20.
May
Coming
Bandcamp.
right up.
24. Then we have the special edition of the EP on Bandcamp, with extras and stuff on June 9, and then it will be available
21st of June.
yeah, 21st of June
June.
everywhere,
Okay.
Spotify, Deezer, and Your Bakery and stuff like that.
Okay. Now, Iona, do you have like a Spotify channel to your own, or
Yeah.
you
Yep.
do? Why don't you go ahead and give us where they can find you on there? Clint did it earlier. We'll let him reiterate whenever you're finished. But where can they find you out there on Spotify and your social media platforms?
So it's all Iona James on Spotify. If you went on Twitter, then Iona James 19, and then it's got a link tree, and you can select on the link tree, and it'll take you to obviously the collaboration single No Way Out, then the EP, and that's all the pre-saves, and then obviously mine and my website and Twitter and Instagram and all those. So it's probably best to go on to the on Twitter, Iona James 19. That's where you can find
And Clint, you want to go ahead and tell everybody again about yours?
Same thing. I'm everywhere, including everyone's bedroom, maybe, or kitchen. And you just have to type Clint Slate, just like Clint Eastwood and the Slate. Everywhere. So it's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Deezer, Amazon, and probably others that I don't even know I'm on. So you'll find all the links for the pre-saves and Bandcamp and stuff on my Twitter and on my link tree too. So it's just Clint Slate everywhere.
Okay. And is the pre-save available now on Bandcamp for the single? Okay. So everybody that's listening over there, please go on to either Clint or Iona's Bandcamp and pre-save the single. And if you're so inclined, is the EP pre-save out yet for
Yeah,
it?
you can pre-order the
Okay.
yeah.
And if you're so inclined, please pre-order the special edition EP and get some of the extras before you can just get just the songs on Spotify or whatever your preferred listening service is later on. I want to thank both of you for coming on today. It was an absolute great time. You're more than welcome to come back on the show anytime you like. Just all you have to do is DM me, Clint. You know how to do it, or Iona, you can DM me, and we'll get that set up. I'm very looking forward to hearing this whole EP and hearing the single when it comes out here in a couple of weeks. I'm going straight to Bandcamp, and I'm gonna go ahead and pre-save that now as soon as we get done with the show here. And probably do the EP as well, pre-order the EP. But it was a very great conversation. I had a tremendous time. I hope we can do this again soon. Maybe we can hook up again a couple weeks after, like in the first part of July, right after the EP comes out on Spotify, and see how everything's going with that. And make sure that you're sending me those links in my Twitter feed every day so we can get that blasted out for people to go ahead and get in there and get that stuff pre-ordered for you, because I really do feel like this is going to be something amazing and something that most everybody can take something out of music-wise, no matter what their taste is in music. But again, Iona, happy Mother's Day, and we won't take up any more of your time. Is there anything either one of you would like to say to the people in the audience before we wrap this up today?
Iona?
Just thank you for listening, for watching, and thank you if you do go on to the links and pre-order. That would be great. It would be it makes me happy. I'd just like a couple of listens. That'd be great. Thank you.
I just want to thank everybody out there, because we found a real community on Twitter, and you are a big part of it too, Bill. And the support there is amazing. You know, it's and it's been to me a real help. In this weird time. So I wouldn't be doing all this without it, and so I thank all the tweetos that follow us and support us and speak for us and scream for us sometimes, and scream at us also, and thanks a lot for having us and allowing us to speak about this project, introduce it, and supporting us, because it's very important. Artists don't like what's the saying? Artists are like a tree in the forest. If the tree falls in the forest and you don't see it, did it fall? Well, if the artist sang a song and nobody hears it, did he really sing it? Ooh,
exactly. Yeah. Now we're going into philosophy. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was very much a pleasure. Again, you're more than welcome to come back on the show anytime. We had a very great conversation. Whenever this should post to my YouTube channel, sometimes it's rather quickly. Sometimes it takes up to 24 hours before the video. I don't have any control over it. That's how StreamYard and YouTube work together. But whenever, I don't think I'm going to have to do any editing on the video. So once it comes out onto the YouTube channel, I will send both of you an email with the link into it so you can share it however you like to, and get more publicity that way. But again, thank you very much, and I will let you all have a wonderful evening, because it's evening time over where you guys are at. Our day is kind of just getting started over here. We're just around 1 o'clock my time. So, but you all have a great evening, and we hope to talk to you soon.
Yeah,
Thanks.
us too. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
There we go. All right, everybody, thank you for coming out today. I hope you enjoyed the interview. I had a really great time with both Clint and Iona. They seem amazing. The music, I believe, is going to be completely amazing, and I hope you all go out and pre-save the EP, and maybe go and also pre-order I'm sorry, pre-save the single and pre-order the EP when it comes out, so you can get those special features and things. But I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, moms, stepmoms, foster moms, grandmas, fur baby moms, and also to all the dads who are pulling double duty because the moms aren't there, and to everybody who's lost their mom. Also, Happy Mother's Day. We will have another show coming up. I believe the next one is. Let me look real quick. I will put out this in a email or a tweet, and I will send it in a direct message. I just saw this. We actually have one next. Is it Saturday? I'll get there. I know on Monday the 24th, I do know we do have two shows. We actually have Sophie Durst back on. Her and her brother are releasing a new song, and she will be on at 6:30 Central Time, and then we will also have later on that night at 9:30 Central Time with Harry J. Hart. Where is the other guys that I just talked to him this morning? Now I can't find where I talked to him. Stormsinker. We will have Stormsinker on next Saturday, the 15th, which will be Sunday, Australia time, where they are based out of. Actually, Trissette got me hooked up with them. So Stormsinker on next Saturday, the 15th. And then we have the two on the 24th as of right now. If I had any more shows, I will definitely let you know. But again, thank you for coming out. Everybody go out and enjoy the rest of this Mother's Day weekend, and we will catch you all later.